Hi, I'm Jenny. This is my channel, Designs with Paper. Thank you so much for stopping by. My video today is an art journal page, and it is the April Mission Inspiration Art Journal prompt. Here is the book I created just for my Mission Inspiration pages, and here is the recipe card with the theme and the colors and the list of ingredients. I will be working on my jelly plate tonight, and I have been using my jelly plate, experimenting with it a bit the last few weeks, and I do have some more videos coming up. I hope you come back and watch those. This is the first time, however, that I have used alcohol inks on my jelly plate. Now, I have two brands of alcohol inks. I have a few that are from Ranger and a few that I got on Amazon. I will be using mixed media paper. Sorry about the focus because the jelly plate is clear. My camera's kind of wigging out, but it will come back into focus real quick here. I decided tonight that the colors I wanted were more the ones I got from Amazon. I think the brand is Jacquard. I will try and find it and link it down below. The colors are more pigmented, I feel like, than some of my Ranger ink brands. Now, I could be wrong. It could just be my opinion tonight, but I feel like they're more pigmented. They also are stronger smelling. And it is always recommended that when you are working with alcohol inks that you work in a well-ventilated area. So I am in my craft room office with the doors open and the ceiling fan going so that I do not inhale those fumes. So I have put down some blue and some green on my jelly plate, and I have added some blending solution, and I have mix them around with the air puffer tool. I am sorry if you can hear my dog. She's naughty. She had to have surgery on her knee about a month ago, so she's been on crate rest. And while she's been on crate rest, the chipmunks, the squirrels, and a groundhog have been taking over our yard, and she likes to sit at the front door and bark at them. She's making me crazy. Oi. Anyways, back to the art journal page. So I have added the blue and the green to my jelly plate, and I'm blowing it around with the puffer tool. I don't know what that thing is called. It's by Ranger. It's specifically for blowing the alcohol inks around on your paper. And I need to make sure that I have enough of this jelly plate covered that it will cover the majority of my art journal page. Now the jelly plate is just smaller than a regular letter size piece of paper, an 8.5 by 11-inch piece of paper. But my art journal page is half that. It is 8.5 by 5 or 5.5. So it's roughly half the size of a regular piece of letter paper. Anyway, I'm going to continue to add the ink and the blending solution and blow it around with the puffy tool. Hey, the first time I used alcohol inks, I was using a straw to blow this around, and I was getting seriously lightheaded. This tool was worth its money. I went to Hobby Lobby before they discontinued their coupons and used my coupon and bought that thing because it was totally worth it. The green, I think that I could have gotten away with less ink and more blending solution, but I am in love with that super dark green. That is one of my favorite colors. Now, I like all greens. Green, there is not a color of green that I don't like, except maybe chartreuse. But that dark emerald green gotta be on my high top fave list. It always has been. I am just kind of a green kind of girl. Anyways, I'm going to continue to add the ink and the blending solution. For your information, this video is real time. I only edited out the cleaning up and the fidgety parts, like, stopping to go tell my kids to be quiet or stop fighting, and putting the dog in her crate because she's barking at the groundhog who's taken up residence under our front porch, and all that other nonsense. But the rest of it is real time. I did not speed up anything or cut out any of the process that was not cleanup. Now, when you're working on a jelly plate, you work in layers. And if you want those layers to hold their shape, or to hold their, I don't know, shape the right word. They have to dry before you add the next layer. So now that I have dried these alcohol inks, you saw me waving that paper over it. I am going to touch it, make sure it's dry. Oh, look, it's not dry. Once the alcohol inks are dry, I am going to take some titanium white acrylic paint and using a brayer, spread a thin layer of paint on the top of the alcohol inks. When you are pulling a print off a jelly plate, the top layer has to be wet in order to pull all of those other layers. And it's thin layers. In my experiment in the last few weeks, I've had some paints that have come out really, really fast, and it makes a really thick top layer. And the first print you pull with that really wet top layer is a really messy, not super cool print. But it can be added to and made beautiful. So whatever, right? Anyway, I'm just taking this titanium white acrylic paint and I'm doing a really thin layer, brayering it on really thin over the top of that alcohol ink. I have two pieces of paper on my right-hand side. One is a piece to clean that brayer off of. You want to get that alcohol ink off before it dries, or it could leave like ridges on your brayer. And then I have another piece to put over as a scrap. And I've laid my art journal page down in the middle of that jelly plate. I guess it's a little bit more than half the size of the plate. Anyways, and now I've laid the scrap paper down to pick up the stuff on the edges. And I'm going to use my hands and this brayer and just add some moderate to firm pressure on all over the back of that paper, just so that the paint and the ink really gets pushed onto that paper. So here I'm lifting up that scrap page and you can see those edges are dang near clean. There's just a little bit left on there. I know I've heard people say that they don't ever clean their jelly plate off. They just leave all those layers for the next printing session. I clean mine off because I'm kind of weird like that. But check that out. That is so, so cool. So the white acrylic paint became the background, not the foreground. Anyway, now that my jelly plate has been cleaned off, because I'm that kind of person and can't leave it cruddy, we are going to go back and add some more alcohol ink. One of the list of ingredients in the Mission Inspiration prompt is flake or foil. And alcohol ink, if it is still tacky, will pull the foil off of this. It's like the heat bond foil, the kind that you can use in a laminator on toner paper or in a ink machine. It just has to be not really wet, just slightly tacky. But because I had to wait for the alcohol to dry to put the paint on, I needed to add a little bit more, and I did not wait for it to dry enough. I have never been accused of being a patient person, and here is the evidence. So I will pull my air puffy tool out and dry it off a little bit more. And as I lay that foil down, the tacky ink pulls that foil off of its carrier sheet. And it's just a very, very, I can't even think of the right word, inorganic, right? There's no rhyme or reason. Whichever part of that ink is still the wettest, or the tackiest, not even the wettest, that the right degree of wet, I don't know, will pull that foil off. The really cool thing when you use alcohol ink on like a Yupo paper, Yupo is a plastic paper that's kind of really made for using with alcohol inks. You can get some really hard edges. And if you get the foil in there before it's completely dry, you can have ridges of this foil all along those hard lines between the colors and the blending. And it really is very cool. Anyway, I'm just going back and forth and adding more ink and blowing it dry with the puffer tool and using the scrap of foil to just put some gold layers into this art journal page. And that ink came out really a lot right there, and it's not moving on this paper the way it might on a Yupo paper. So I'm going to add a little bit of blending solution to it so that I can blow it around and have it not be so thick, but also have it dry enough to add the foil to it. Sorry, I'm full of ums tonight. I'm trying to get this video made and edited and voiced over and uploaded tonight, so it will be available for you tomorrow morning. My the my 2 high school kids go back to 4 days a week of school next week, starting tomorrow. We are in our last 9 weeks of school, and they're just going back to 4 days a week tomorrow. My boys in elementary school opted to stay 100% virtual when they had the chance. So we are still doing homeschool with the boys, or online school. All right, so my page right now has the blue and the green, and it has the inks, and it has the foil. So now I need to figure out how to get the lettering and the foreign language in. And y'all, you're going to laugh at me, okay? So I have this old alpha stamp set, and it really will not stick to this block. And I have spelled out the word narwhal in Danish, except I only had one A. So I decided I would use the C and then just put the line on it to make it the A later. And when I was editing this video, I realized, you guys, my A's are backwards. I don't even know what I was thinking. And then I looked at it and it's spelled wrong. I full on put the stamps in the order backwards because I was looking at them backwards. And I put the letters backwards. So we are going to pretend that this lettering step also covers the foreign language step because I intended it to be the Danish spelling of the word narwhal. And I picked Danish because that is one of my dad's family lines that I am kind of fascinated with right now. I don't know why. Probably because it is the most recent immigrant line in my family, both on my parents' side. The other family lines were in the United States. Some of them before the United States were the United States. But anyways, I digress. So here I have a Sharpie marker, and this is when I realized, I'm watching this, and I realized, dude, I just turned that C into a backwards A. I don't even know. I just don't even know. But you know what? It's an art journal page, not a dictionary, and I still like it. So we're just going to pretend that my lettering step is also a foreign language. And I apologize to the Danish people everywhere for totally messing up your language. Okay, so we have the blue and the green. We have the ink, we have the lettering, and we have the foreign language. So the next step is to add some of these other ingredients. I'm going to add the magic theme and the pink color. Now, magic is not my jam. Like, I'm a firm believer in black magic, so I kind of stay away from that kind of stuff. But I'm not really a princess kind of person. I don't know. But it says it's a kind of magic. Is it hocus pocus or unicorns and fairies? And when I saw the unicorn part, my brain thought narwhal, because whose doesn't, right? So I have this narwhal stamp and die set, and I just cut the shape out. I didn't stamp it out. I just cut the shape out of a piece of mixed media paper, the same paper that I'm making my page out of. And I am using this rose pearlescent acrylic paint. I think it's the same brand as the alcohol ink, to be honest. I got it off Amazon. But it's this really pretty rose pink with kind of a pearlish sheen to it. And I kind of like it, y'all. Sorry, here comes my Southern. I've lived in Virginia long enough to have a y'all. Wow. Anyway, here is my pink unicorn. Okay, it's a narwhal, not a unicorn. But it works with the page. Just go with me on this for a minute, okay? Just follow me out to the end. Okay, so here is my art journal page, and here is my focal point. And in order to pull this narwhal in, okay, so we've gone down we've got all of our colors. We have our magic. We have 4 of our 5 ingredients. So now we have to tie this pink narwhal into the theme of magic. And I went to my Pinterest quote board. Anytime I see a quote on Pinterest that I love, I just put it there, or that speaks to me that day, I just put it there. And I found one that says, the more you be yourself, the more magical life gets. See? Magic, magical. It's all getting in there. I didn't leave you hanging too long. So now we are going to add this narwhal, this unicorn of the sea, to the art journal page. And I'm going to use just a regular school glue stick to glue these pieces down. I decided to cut that, gosh, words today, that top strip. I decided to cut that into 2 pieces. One thing about art journal pages, very often before I start filming, I have pulled together all of the things I am going to put on the page. Or I film while I figure it out and then edit the heck out of the video. For this art journal page, because it is a prompt from the Mission Inspiration Group, I knew the 3 colors I needed to use or could use. Now, Mike says that the ingredients are there as a prompt. If you don't have everything or don't want to use all the colors or, whatever, that's fine. But I really do try to use all of the ingredients to the best of my ability, and I tried to stick to the theme. So I knew when I saw unicorn, I could go narwhal. I could make that work. That's just my brain. And I've used all of the colors because that pink narwhal is totally being himself, right? Because narwhals are not pink. They are not. They are a real animal, but they are not pink. Anyway, I feel like this video is more chit chat and me going on like crazy mouth than it is tutorial on how I did this page. So sorry if you don't like that, mute. I hope you do like it though. Yikes. Anyway, so I'm going to add this narwhal in here, sandwiched in between the quote lines. And now that I'm looking at this page, I think that top the more should also have been on the left side. See what I mean? I don't plan this out. I had all of my ingredients. I knew what order I was going to do things in, kind of generally. Did not have an actual layout in mind. Because there's a whole big space at the bottom now, too. Don't worry, I fill it in. I am going to go back to this narwhal and add a little bit of that gold foil to him as well. You can use liquid glue with the same heat bond foil. So I pulled out my Tombow Mono and I added some stripes to the narwhal horn and some dots to his back. The thing with liquid glue is very similar to the alcohol ink. It needs to be tacky wet, not wet wet. And again, I was not patient enough because it's not like it takes Tombow Mono glue that long to dry. Come on, you guys. I was just not being patient. It was getting to be near time to start dinner. We were having pancakes for dinner, and my daughter wanted to help me make pancakes and wanted to learn how to make pancakes. So, because we do them from scratch in our house, we don't do no Bisquick here. That's just nasty. Anyway, so I dried the dots of glue on the back of the narwhal a little bit more, and then I also used my finger to kind of flatten them out so they weren't domed, and that way they could be dry and take that foil just a little bit more. You can also use double-sided, oh, excuse me, double-sided tape. Not like a tape runner. It needs to be something a little bit stronger, like a sticky strip or an A-line or red line tape. You can also put that down on paper and put the foil down on top of that. And if you burnish it really good with a bone folder, is that what it's called? Yeah. Sorry, my brain just shut off. You can have the foil stick to that double-sided adhesive as well. I have done that to make foil stripes on card fronts before, and it looks really neat. Also, Deco Arts makes a foil paste where you can spread that on, and once it's dry, you can put the foil in through your laminator or your ink machine or whatever. Okay, so moving on with the page, the next ingredient we need are scribbles. Okay, you guys, I have this Signo Uniball white Jelly Roll pen, and every time I pull it out of my drawer, it does not write. And tonight, it worked. I cannot tell you how many times I have tried to use that pen on cards and on art journal pages, And I won't throw it away because it's an expensive pen. That brand is not cheap and it's full of ink. And I just kept telling myself, oh, and I just put it back in my drawer. And I pulled it out today. And you guys, it is writing. I don't even know. Okay. It's magical, right? It is just magical. The next time I pull it out, it probably won't write again because it won't be magical. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign my name and date this page while I have that white pen out. And you will see there is a spot down the bottom that is just screaming for me to add something to. And I did not plan this, but I have a gold Sharpie paint pen. Well, you have to add more sparkle, right? I decided to put the narwhal's eye and mouth in with this gold paint pen. I kind of wish I had stopped at the eye. The mouth is kind of weird, but whatever, we're going with it. Because I don't know if narwhals actually smile, right? I mean, I don't know. And then down at the bottom, I wrote in my messy, scribbly handwriting, because scribbles are a thing on this art journal page, narwhals equal unicorns. See, the narwhal is magical because it's a unicorn of the ocean. It's a unicorn of the sea. And this is how my brain went from it's a kind of magic theme to narwhals in the ocean. Okay, so let's make sure we have everything. We have the blue, we have the pink, we have the green, we have the scribbles, we have the inks, we have the lettering, we have the foil, we have the foreign language, kind of, sort of, and we have a unicorn. I'm sticking with this narwhal being a unicorn. Let me know what you think about this page. All I have left to do is glue my recipe card to the back. I like to do that so that when I'm looking back at it later, I can tell a little bit about why I did what I did, because you know, there's no writing on here that's telling me, hey, by the way, today you thought about. It's an art journal page, and I need to kind of remember why I did what I did. So let me know what you think about this page. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I would like it if you liked, thumbs up, or even thumbs down this video. I would love it if you shared this video and my channel with your friends. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please come back and see some more videos where I use my jelly plate and alcohol inks. Have a great night.